You say the Lakers are family. How close to the family are you right now?
Oh, extremely. I always will be. I mean, I always said, if you cut this arm open, man, I bleed purple and gold. That's never going to change.
Okay, how close are you to the newest member of the Laker family?
Well, he's part of the Laker family.
Right.
So when he first came on board, I said, listen, is there anything you need? You are now family now. You're part of this tradition. So if there's anything you need, just let me know.
Has he needed anything?
No, I think he's fine.
All right. You write in the book about LeBron James, the main thing the two of you discussed is what constitutes a killer mentality. What was your message to him?
Well, the message is always to go out there and dominate. Right? There's no let up. And once the game starts and once the practice begins, you're in that mode. Everything's a game 7. When you approach every practice and every game with that kind of mentality, it bleeds into the rest of the guys. And then the rest of the unit has that same approach and that same intensity, but it starts at the top.
You got chicken skin on that. All right, you also said when it came to contact, you enjoyed hitting and getting hit more than LeBron, and that impacted your head-to-head matchups. How so?
Well, I love posting up. I love the physicality of it, where, he liked playing on the perimeter more, which is interesting because he's 6'10 and 280, but he liked being on the perimeter. I like being down low, and I like banging. So when I get down to the post and I would post him up, I'd love to put my shoulder into his chest. I'd love to feel it, spin off of him and kind of work that way. As he kind of grew older, you start seeing him going to post up more and bang a little bit more. But when he first came into the league, man, he's just like dancing around on the perimeter.
Jerry passed the torch to Magic. Magic passed it to you. Fair to say you've passed it to LeBron?
Well, it's funny is none of them passed the torch to any of them, right?
Like so it's a figurative torch.
Yeah, it's a figurative torch. Jerry was here, and then Magic came, and now you have the responsibility and the pressure of the franchise, which is an immense one, right? And you got to win. And then I came on board with Shaq, and we were able to carry on that tradition. And then with Powell, and now it's Bron and Kuz and then Lonzo and these guys, and it's their turn to do the same thing. And Ingram, and it's a lot of pressure, but this is what we do. We don't hang division banners.
What do the pictures in the book of you and Shaq say about your relationship?
Well, Shaq and I now have a great time together. And his son, by the way, is going to be a phenomenal player. I'm looking forward to getting in the gym and working with him a little bit. But Shaq and I's relationship has always been a good one, man. Always been a good one. We've had our moments. Right. But through that friction, we managed to win 3 championships in a row.
You speak to that friction a little bit, but say it was never about us. The media made it about us. What did you mean?
Well, I mean, when you're playing in a market like Los Angeles, everything becomes magnified, right? And so it's never really the issue between two people because those things can be solved with a conversation. But when things get hyped up a lot, all of a sudden you have other people intermingling in between. And we weren't mature enough to tell everybody else, shut up. Shut up. I know what to do. I know the right thing to do. We're going to do it. But still in all, man, it was a hell of a journey.
You bring up players, and you talk specifically about them. I'm going to start with Michael Jordan. You said a teaching moment. What did he teach you?
He taught me a lot of stuff. He was, a great teacher and mentor for me. But Michael was very tactical and very efficient with his movements. There was no wasted space. There weren't any wasted dribbles. I mean, he was very surgical with how he approached the game, and you can see it. I mean, he made the game look so easy, which is very difficult to do.
You say KG never jawed at you. Never.
Never.
You've got to be the only guy.
Well, I mean, but KG, the object is to win the game, right? So, there's certain players you don't want to talk to because
he knew that was a losing proposition.
Winning the game a little harder. You know what I mean? So, it's always the same thing with me. I'm not going to talk to KG. It gets them fired up. Right. Then it picks everybody else up, and then off they go. Right? You got to kind of, identify who you can get in the head of, and then that's who you go at.
Ruben Patterson made the mistake of talking that he might be the Kobe stopper. How did that work out for him?
Well, I thought that was just a good business decision for him. You know what I mean? I even called Rube. I said, Rube, if you needed me to come out and say Ruben Patterson plays the best defense on me than anybody else in the league, I would have said that for you. I would have helped you get a new contract. But just let me know.
Right. So instead, he got.
Well, instead, I had to torch him. But if you would have, at least let me know, then I could have helped you out.
Right.
Yeah.
You say Vince Carter brought out the best in you. How so?
Well, I was always really competitive with Vince. Vince was a year ahead of me in high school.
He's still playing, by the way.
Which is unbelievable. I mean, I saw him windmill the other day, which just goes to his insane athletic ability.
Yeah.
And we played on the same AAU team in high school. We played a tournament together, and I remember how the height that this guy can elevate off the ground was just unbelievable. But he was the #1 shooting guard in that class, and I was coming up behind him. And everybody, Vince. I'm saying, okay, I want to see what this is about, sort of thing. We never got a chance to go head to head. And then when he came to the NBA, that was a great opportunity to do that.
Young Kevin Durant, no problem, you said.
None. None.
That's changed.
How
was it no problem, and how is it a problem now?
Well, he came back one season, and it became the toughest matchup that I've had to deal with in my entire career outside of Tracy McGrady.
So what changed?
Well, when he first came in the league, you should kind of shoot across from his face. Right, so if I'm able to push him right and cut off his driving angles, then I give myself a great chance of stopping him, because it's hard to pull up and shoot going right when you're shooting it from across the side of your face. And then when he came back, all of a sudden that shot moved more to the top of his head. Now he was going right, stopping and popping. Then he could post up, he could turn left shoulder, he could turn right shoulder, and then it became a serious problem.
You just mentioned Tracy McGrady.
Yeah.
He works for us. Magic, you say. You couldn't say enough good things about him.
This dude was unbelievable, man.
How so?
Unbelievable. Because he could do everything. I mean, I think I told him one time, I said, bro, you could do everything I could do on the court, but you were 6'10". Literally everything. I mean, he had no weaknesses, offensively or defensively. And he was a nightmare to guard.